welcome to Out Past the Rings, Volume 49! Today we're talking about the Terry Green Huge Cosmic split cassette that came out on November 3rd of 2015. The history behind this is obviously the Terry Green ZBR connection. I guess this is the first, this is the first Terry Green Zegma Beach release. When I started putting on shows in 2014, I believe, there weren't really any local screamo bands at all. There was some in Toronto, but nothing going on in Hamilton. So I don't know where I found out about them online, but I contacted them. They were from Mississauga, which is 30 minutes, I guess, outside of Hamilton. It's basically in between Hamilton and Toronto. So they were the halfway point. They became the local ZBR band. So they played, they must have played about half of the Zegma shows that I put on at Doors Pub in Hamilton over the course of the 3 years or so that I was putting on shows there. So I remember when they started playing these two tracks live, and they said, we want to release an EP, maybe you want to help? Not an EP, a split, with just 2 songs on it from each band. So, where should I go next? So we made 125 copies in the O cards. Oh boy, was that a mistake. As per the band's request, but I didn't realize that. So first of all, whatever copy has, whatever side is white will have that band, whether it's Huge Cosmic or Terry Green. Some of them have TG on them. But I didn't realize that our particular duplication company charges an arm and a leg for the O cards, and I didn't actually look, I guess, until I got the tapes or was trying to figure out the cost per tape. I was like, why are these so high? Wow, $2 plus O cards. So the cost was kind of astronomical for doing 125 tapes. It was pretty ridiculous. So they were pretty hard to sell. Luckily, the band is fantastic live, so I do believe they were able to just get rid of all of theirs almost immediately. I should also be talking about Huge Cosmic for a multitude of reasons besides the fact that they are on the split. They just released an LP. They have at this point they were a 2-piece with Jacob and Dean playing in the band, and it's kind of funny because this ended up being a split tape with Adrian and Adrian, because Adrian from Terry Green, who's the vocalist, actually joined Huge Cosmic after the split as the bassist. And if you're wondering, why do those screams sound so familiar in that first track of the Huge Cosmic side, that's because that is Adrian from the other side of the split. So Adrian split with himself. Pretty awesome. Both sides are really good. The Huge Cosmic side has a really cool, like, what if Hum kind of like did away with the really like lighter sounding spacey stuff and took it to the more post-hardcore route with some screaming. I mean, like the first track, Danny Bombs the Universe, is really cool, quirky. Like, oh, it's like poppy. Oh, no, it's heavy. It's poppy. It's heavy. It's really cool. And then the second one, Garmin Bonsai, is much more chill, much more in the shoegaze grunge realm. No screaming, just a lot of really... The clean vocals are all very, very well done. I think both members supply the clean vocals, and I think Jacob also supplies the clean vocals on the end of Instant Relief, Terry Green's perhaps their best song. I don't know. Seeing that song live was amazing. This demo version ended up on their LP, which came out the following year, or a year and a half later, I don't remember. They were going in an I didn't really know where they were going at this point. They had written What the first track, which is much more emo. Okay, here's a good example. The band was buying up all my distro when I started Zegma Beach and was going to shows. They pretty much funded their own release just by buying from the distro for so many years. So they were buying a lot of Skeletal Lightning stuff, and I could kind of hear some of the songs veering in the Skeletal Lightning direction. And they were also getting into the much harder, heavier screamo stuff as well. So it was a bit of a pull, and it's really noticeable, I think, on the split. Adrian told me a couple of years after that this split has the best and the worst Terry Green song, as I guess what that didn't age well for the band, as it wasn't released on the LP. It's much more twinkly. It's got a lot of twinkle factor. Well, the second one is much more epic and it's just riot. It's a riot live. It's fantastic. But the twinkly thing brings me to non-denominational emo. Remember that? I think it might even still be a thing. So that was, I mean, essentially a Facebook group that someone started. I forget his name, Craig, I think, and he was kind of like, he was put on a pedestal very early in the Facebook group, and everyone's like, Craig is the best. I hope the name's right, or this is going to be weird. They're the best. They're the best. And they wanted to help with this split, and I believe they were actually the primary label at the very, very beginning. But the guy who started the Facebook group and started the label, I believe, was essentially ousted by the people that he brought in to help deal with the Facebook and the label stuff, which is just mind-boggling. And I remember being not a fan of that group anyway. So it'll say online non-denominational emo NDE on there, but it's not on the tape, which is okay with me. I guess the last thing to mention is just the fact that also Dean, who plays drums in Huge Cosmic, fills in for Adam when they can't play for Terry Green on drums. So I believe perhaps the World Last Summer's last Hamilton show was with Dean on drums for Terry Green. Just fantastic musicians and people all around. I love all the people in both of these bands. I hold them near and dear to my Zegma heart. So I guess that will end number 49, and we'll be back next time with Lentic Waters' 12-inch of the Path, which houses perhaps the greatest opening track of all time. Until then, will we see more Terry Green? Perhaps this year? I don't know.